Happy Halloween, everyone. Before we head out for some ghoulish activities this evening, I wanted to pop in, say hello, and participate in the 5 questions, 1 take challenge. So 5 questions, all in 1 take, no or minimal editing. So here we go. Also, be sure to stick around for the end. I do have a little bit of an exciting announcement for everyone, so I want you to not miss that. So stick around. My sewing journey probably started when I was about 5 years old. My mother and my grandmother, pretty much all the women in my family, sew at some level, whether it's quilting or clothing or just little repairs. Sewing has been like a thing for my family my whole life. So it was something I naturally picked up. I think for my 10th birthday, my grandmother got me my first serger. So it's just always kind of been there. When I went to high school, I went to performing arts high school and we had a costuming department, but we didn't really have a lot of people who sewed who could actually make costumes. So I was kind of thrown into it, and that was really where I learned to construct garments and clothing in different projects and kind of make it up as I went along. I didn't really learn proper sewing techniques, and at least for that kind of construction, until I was a little bit older after my daughter was born. I had gotten a new sewing machine, so I started delving into making clothes for her and of course costumes, because costumes in high school was like my passion and I loved it so much. I love making costumes. I just don't have enough places and options to wear costumes, so I don't do it a whole lot. But I do love making them and creating them from the ground up. So it's a lot of fun. And then now I do a lot of clothing, a lot of practical projects, and of course, here I am on YouTube and doing my book chat and sew, sewing things inspired by books. Describe my sewing space. Well, you can actually see most of it in this shot. You can see most of it in most of my videos. There's a few areas that are not quite so tidy that I can show you as well. I'm gonna do a real quick film with my camera on my phone, and I'll insert this on top of the video. See, down here, I try to hide these because they're not as neat and tidy as the rest of everything. Here's my pretty shelves where everything's folded. Some of my favorite knickknacks and things I've made in different episodes. And of course, because I'm the literary sewist, I have my bookshelf here as well. Behind me, you have my logo, which you can see most over here. Sorry about that terrible turn. And my sewing machine and my serger. I keep my laptop over there because my laptop is connected to my projector up there. That area isn't always the cleanest either. And then you also have the stuff I am currently working on and about to sew for my next videos. So then you've got my camera. Behind that closet is just storage. And of course, you know, that's my camera bag right there. I love my camera bag. It makes me happy. What's it like to be a sewing YouTuber? It's fun. I like it. I enjoy making things and creating things and showing people how to do things, because I previously had been part of a group where I had helped people learn to sew and test patterns. I really wanted to reach out and do something where I help and give back and show people how to use their passions to bring things into their everyday life. Hence the sewing things from books that I love. So for that part, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot harder on the back end. When you think about the planning and the executing, the promoting, that part gets very exhausting. I get a little worked up and worried about it. I overthink and probably over-research sometimes what I should be doing. Sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. You just kind of never know until you really get your groove going with YouTube and more people start seeing your stuff and start looking for you. So it's good, but it's hard. My most memorable project isn't really memorable because it was a great project. Well, it was great, but it wasn't a positive experience. I had been commissioned by my mother's neighbor to make costumes for their Disney cruise. There were a ton of specific requests, and while I eventually was able to deliver and they turned out absolutely amazing and fantastic, and if I can find a picture, I'll insert it right over here for you to take a look at. But I got so worked up and so stressed out over doing this that I don't want to commission making costumes for people ever again, because it was a terrible, horrible experience from somebody I'd previously thought was pleasant and nice. And I know now I will never be friends with them. But that's it. It was a learning lesson for me. So it was memorable in the fact that I learned things, and memorable because although they were amazing and the costumes turned out fantastic, I can't even brag about them because there's so much pain behind it. But yeah, that was about as memorable as it gets. Okay, one quote or saying or piece of advice that resonates you with YouTube. Okay, hold on, give me a second because I forgot to bring the actual thing in here to show you guys. If you missed it, my Book Chat and Sew episode on I Take My Coffee Black involved a memoir by a man I had actually gone to high school with, and there are tons of quotes in that book that are inspirational, motivational, and just resonate with you on so many levels. I cannot find it right at the moment. Hold on, okay, there we go. But the one that I ended up using on my project really kind of stuck with me. And if this will load, I will show you real quick what it was. Oh, it's not gonna load. Okay, anyways, I'm gonna insert the quote right over here because I know I have a picture of it. But this quote just really stuck with me because there are tons of sewing YouTubers out there. There are tons of YouTubers in general on the platform, and that's great. What makes all of us great is that we all have something different to offer. We have different personalities, we have different methods of teaching, and there's something for every single person in the world to get from YouTube. And I'm here because I want to reach the people who need what I have to offer. I am here to give you all of the things that are in my brain and my creativity I want to share with the world. So this really stuck with me because there's people out there who need you, that only you can offer, and that's what it means to me. So that's it. That's all there is to tell about me. If you have any questions, I would love to answer them, or I would love to hear from you and about your sewing journey and your memorable projects, good or bad. If you're a sewing YouTuber, I'd love to hear you too. We are doing this challenge for October, but feel free, if you're a YouTuber, do this 5 questions, 1 take. Kind of do your own version of it if these sewing questions don't work for you. So please, I'd love to hear from you. Tag me in any photos or stories and projects, and I'd love to see things and chat and talk about all things sewing or books or both. All right, in the meantime, here's the big announcement. A couple months ago, I stepped back from doing 3 videos a week to doing 1 video a week for my own mental health. I needed to take time to make sure I was delivering good content and not just tons of content. I thought I could keep up with that pace. It lasted probably about 8 months, but then I really needed to take that step back. However, I love going big for the holidays, and I really debated on what I wanted to do because 1 video a week isn't a whole lot, and there's not a whole lot of time between now and the holidays, and I want you guys to have things to sew before the holidays, so you have plenty of time to make them. So what I decided to do is I will be doing 12 days of holiday sewing. That means every Monday and every Friday starting November 8th, leading up to the week before Christmas, I will be making a new sewing tutorial. Some of them will be big and elaborate, some of them will be really simple, some of them are even scrap busters. So be sure to have those notifications turned on, and be sure to make sure you have the notifications on. I'm repeating myself. Be sure to have the notifications on, make sure you have or sign up for my newsletter so you don't miss a single tutorial. And in the meantime, happy hauntings everyone! I'll see you in the next video. Before you hop away, drop down to the video description to sign up for my newsletter and receive this frog coin pouch pattern for free.